Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Daysha, aka School Psych Bay Dash, aka the Body Snatcher and the Guru of all things post-operative care. I'm here today with a YouTube video or a vlog telling you guys about my journey to the Dominican Republic to have my round two, and I want to tell you guys all the ins and outs. I probably will come back with a second video because I probably won't remember everything and I won't be able to put everything into this one video, but I wanted to do this while it's still fresh on my mind. I do have a couple video clips. I didn't do a good job of recording, but I will put the video clips that I do have where they apply. So let's get right into it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell. And if you do have any other questions that you want to ask me, you want me to include in the next video, please leave it in the comment section. So let's talk about how I found my doctor. So initially I was in a Facebook group coming up saying that he has no infections and no deaths. So after I saw his name constantly, I went and did my own research via Google, Real Self, and I also went to his Instagram page and I joined his Facebook group that is just strictly for girls who have had surgery with him, and it includes some of his surgery, some of his post-op coordinators, I guess you would call them, the girls who book the surgery that you send your deposit to. They're also in the group, so they answer questions and they also have their own personal photos in that group as well. So what I would suggest when looking for a doctor is to make sure you do your research. It's not only important to choose a doctor who has no infections or little to no deaths. I'm not going to say none at all because it's always going to be an instance or a case where a complication can happen that may not even be from the doctor. It may be something that a pre-existing medical condition that a girl may have had prior to surgery and may not have known about, or it could be a death that is caused by the doctor. But I won't say no deaths, but I will say little to none. My doctor had none at all and no infections. But so yeah, I will say do your research. Make sure you're finding a doctor who you trust. You don't want to go into surgery on surgery day and be nervous about if you're going to make it or not, because you're going to have a lot to worry about when it comes to planning your surgery and your aftercare. So you want to make sure you're choosing the right doctor. The next thing that I did was I went to his Instagram and I started looking at pictures of girls who he had operated on. That is very, 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 very important to make sure your doctor is operating on girls who look like you. When I say look like you, I mean body type, BMI, I mean like looking at the shape of their body, because girls can weigh the same amount as you, but their foundation can be completely different. So you want to make sure your doctor operates on girls who have a foundation that is similar to yours and is getting the results that you want. If you see that you are a girl who is looking for a skinny BBL, you don't have a lot of fat, and the doctor that you want to go to doesn't do skinny BBLs, or you haven't seen him operating on smaller girls, then that's not the doctor for you. You want to choose a doctor that fits your body type. If you are a girl that is looking for a tummy tuck, you want to choose a doctor that is doing a lot of tummy tucks and you see a lot of scars that are not visible, a lot of girls that do not have what they call dog ears. You want to make sure you're choosing a doctor that fits your needs and your body type. Every doctor is not going to be the doctor for you. You want to choose a doctor that looks good for you. Do not go off for someone else's opinions or what they think. You want to choose something that you are comfortable with so that on your surgery day, you're happy because you're confident in your decision. You don't want to base your decision based off others' thoughts or ideas. You want to base it off a solid, confident decision that this doctor operates on girls who look like me and he's going to give me the results that I need. Whether that's in one round or two, that's up to you. That's just some tips and tidbits. So I found my doctor. I did my research, and then after that, I reached out to some of his coordinators to get a quote. So when I initially got my quote, it was maybe 6 months prior to me actually wanting to get my surgery. Just because I wanted to have a general idea of what it would cost to get all the procedures that I wanted, and I wanted to know how much money I needed to save, and then the timeline that I need to save it in. So I would suggest that for other girls as well, to make sure you know how much you need to budget for prior to making all of your arrangements. So by the time I got ready to book, it was maybe about 3 or 4 months out. So I reached out to another coordinator at the time, and I ended up having to get a new quote because the quote had expired. So I got my quote, and then I went and I booked my flights. I asked one of my best friends to come with me. I will insert a video of us in the airport. So my friend did come with me, and she stayed with me for a week. Because she was not staying with me the entire time of my procedure, I stayed at a recovery house versus booking an Airbnb or a hotel and hiring a private nurse and a driver and a masseuse and all of those things, because it's really unsafe to stay by yourself after having surgery, whether it's in the Dominican Republic or in Miami or in Atlanta or wherever you choose to have surgery. You want to make sure you have someone there with you in case of an emergency. So that's why I chose the recovery house. So we got there, fast forward, we got everything planned out. We arrived in the Dominican Republic. I stayed at Metropolis Recovery House. So my driver texted me, let me know he was at the airport waiting on me. I did use the pre-boarding or before boarding to get assistance when I landed in the Dominican Republic. They handle your passports, they get you through customs, get your bags and all that for you so that you don't have to worry about that. And it's a much quicker and simpler process. You just wait in the lounge area, you enjoy some snacks and something to drink while all that is being handled for you. I think it's an extra $100 per person or 100 and then additional for your add-on. So that is a service that I did use. When I got done doing all of that, my driver from the recovery house was there to pick me up. He picked me up, and initially I thought that I wasn't going to do my labs that same day, but the driver suggested that I try to do at least some of the labs because that can be an all-day process. So he dropped me off at SIPLA, or however you say it, and I did my lab. So the first thing I did was I went up to the third floor, met with my surgeon, or excuse me, the post-op coordinator. The pre-op coordinator. And so when I got there, the pre-op coordinator told me what labs I needed to do. She sent me downstairs. I got my blood drawn. They did an x-ray of my chest, and then I went back upstairs with my chest x-rays and my blood work or whatever. So then the lady told me to come back the next day, and I would meet the endocrinologist, and then I would meet the anesthesiologist and all those things. So that was that. My driver picked me up. We went to the recovery house. When I got to the recovery house, they were very sweet, very nice. They fed us as soon as we got there because we were extremely hungry. The food was amazing. And we got settled in, met the staff, and we slept our first night at the recovery house. What I will say about the recovery house is it's comparable to a townhouse here in the States. It wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't luxurious. It was literally like a regular townhouse. What I will say about this house, or that made it stand out to me, was the care. The care was outstanding. They waited on us hand and foot, brought my food to my bed. The meals were amazing. They bathed me when I couldn't bathe myself, and they had a buzzer. You buzzed them at any time you needed anything throughout the night. So the care was amazing, and I can't really say anything bad about my experience at Metropolis Recovery House. I'll insert some videos and clips and things like that for you guys to look at. So on day 2, the driver picked me up. I went back to SIPLA to finish my labs and all of that stuff that has to be done before surgery. When I got there, the lady told me that I had a sickle cell trait, which I was not aware of. But my brother had sickle cell anemia, so it made sense. So from there, I had to do some extra labs. So I left there, went to another place, got some labs, came back, brought those. Is it on day 1 or day 2? It might have been a day 1 that I found out I had sickle cell and I had to go do an extra lab. Yes, day 1 I had to go do an extra lab, and I did that before I got back to the recovery house because they said that the results would take up to anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. So I did that on my first day actually. And so when I got back there the second day, just kidding. Anyway, so on day two, I got to SIPLA and I had to do the rest of my labs. This day, my friend didn't come with me. She stayed at home and got her lips colored. I think it's called lip blushing here in the US. But anyway, so I went to SIPLA by myself. The lines were terrible. There were girls waiting in each line. The lines were long, and everybody was there for the same thing because there are, I mean, numerous doctors all in the same clinic and all using the same staff members to do the same labs for all their girls. So it's an all day thing. It's no in and out. It's an all day thing. So after I finished all my labs, I brought them back to the pre-op coordinator and she reviewed everything. And I was like, hey, so like, what do I do? Am I cleared for tomorrow? Like, I don't know, because I was still waiting on my test to come back for the sickle cell trait. And she told me, don't worry about anything. That is literally just, something that we're required to do basically to cover our behinds, but you're good to go. So just come back tomorrow. So I was excited. I went back to the recovery house. I let my friend know I had been cleared, and the next day I would be going for surgery. So I couldn't eat after 9. I washed myself with the HIBA cleanse or the antibacterial wash, and I slept good that night and got up the next morning and headed to SIPLA for my surgery. When I got there, I still had to meet the anesthesiologist that morning because I hadn't done it the previous day because the lines are just too long. So I did that, and then they told me, I was cleared. I went and got my compression socks, everything like that. Went up to the next floor, met with some other people and the anesthesiologist who was actually going to be administering the what is it called? Why can't I think of it right now? Anyway, they give you this blue pill that puts you to sleep, and then he also gives you the shot in your bag. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's what they use when you're having a baby here in the US. So they don't actually use the same anesthesia as what's used in the States, so they don't completely put you to sleep. Needless to say, I woke up during my surgery while they were sewing up my boobs, but we'll talk about that later. So by the time I got the blue pill, my 24-hour nurse, which I booked separately from the recovery house, the 24-hour nurse comes with you and stays in the hospital with you overnight after your surgery. She met me at the clinic. We kind of exchanged words. I gave her my bag with all of my stuff in it because I did order a surgery box, so I didn't have to pack all those supplies. I gave that to her and let her hold on to it and everything like that. So I did wake up during my surgery. While he was finishing up my boobs, I fell back asleep. And when I got up again, I was freezing cold. They were checking my vitals, and I was sitting there for a minute and waiting to be wheeled into my room. When I got into my room, I was extremely uncomfortable. What I will say is the DR is not like the US when it comes to pain medication. So if you don't have your own pain medication, which I'm not a doctor, can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I did. I was extremely uncomfortable. They gave me ibuprofen through my IV, which burned. I was crying. It was so painful. The staff that works at the hospital was not the friendliest. And it was just like a hustle and bustle. So if I didn't have my own recovery nurse, there's no way I would have made it. She just made sure I stayed comfortable throughout the night. She helped me turn, move around. She cleaned out my catheter when it needed to be clean. And when I got to a point where the pain was just unbearable, I told her, hey, I brought pain medication in my bag. I bought such and such, bring it to me. So that's what I did. And then the next morning, they came in to put me in my faja, check my vitals, and that's when I found out I had low hemo. So I had to get a blood transfusion, which took about 3 hours. Dominican Republic time, it's not the US time. So I was extremely uncomfortable yet again. I hadn't had anything to eat because I found out I couldn't eat once I needed a blood transfusion. So it was just a very rough first day after surgery. When they finally did release me, I was shouting for joy. My driver from the recovery house came pick me up. They took me back home, and I ate and I rested and I got my pain medication and I was comfortable. They had a recliner bed where I could press the button, let myself up, let myself back, all of that. And I was just trying to get some rest. Yeah, and so while I was there, I also got my eyes micro shaded, microbladed, whatever. I also got a chemical peel, which was a great experience. My skin looks phenomenal now. And they went through, my friend was only supposed to stay there for about 4 days with me, but she ended up extending her flight. So she did stay a couple extra days, which I think turned out to be 6 or 7 days, because we were just having such a great experience. And she just wanted to make sure that I was getting proper care, and then I was kind of like out of that, you know, red zone before she did leave me, which I was doing extremely well. A lot of stuff I was doing on my own, and the recovery nurse had to tell me, hey, like, you doing my job, relax, I got this. Like I said, she bathed me every day. The masseuse came to the house and did the massages, and everything like that. So it was really just a good experience. I did leave 9 days post-op, because I was just ready to come home. Like, I was ready to come home and be in my own bed. I was tired of that twin. I was tired of taking whole baths. Like, I need to take a real shower. What I will say is, after you get surgery, you cannot use the water in the Dominican Republic to take a bath, to drink, any of that. So we took, like, you know, baths out of big bowls of water that they bring that's filtered. And so, yeah, I was just sick of it. Like, I wanted to get in the shower. I wanted to lay on my own bed. So I did leave 9 days post-op. Originally, I was supposed to leave 12 days post-op. So I did move my flight up, because I was ready to come home. And I've been home ever since. And yeah, I recovered fine by myself. I will say the first couple of days was a little bit challenging. So if you can, you know, have a friend or two come over to help take care of you, or if you can book like a 24-hour nurse just to come and get you settled, maybe meal prep for you, or do all that stuff before you go, which I would say is harder to do when you go to the Dominican Republic because you're over there for so long, versus when I went to Miami, when I came back, like, I had all of my like meals mapped out. I had, like, you know, stuff that I could cook that was quick. And I had my groceries delivered and everything like that. Like, I was well prepared. I didn't do that when I went to Dominican Republic because I felt like everything would be spoiled by the time I got back. So it was kind of rough, like cooking and moving around and stuff like that the first couple of days. But here I am. I will come back and show you guys my results probably at like 1 or 2 months post-op. That's another thing I want to tell you guys. When you guys get home, also make sure you got your massages booked. Like, don't be waiting until last minute. When you're planning your flights, your recovery house, paying for all that stuff, book your massages as well. When you come back, you don't have to be looking around for no masseuse and all that stuff. Book your massages. If you don't get massages, your results, they ain't gonna be right. That's all I'm gonna say. Just say they ain't gonna be right. You don't want to have fibrosis. You don't want to have seromas. You don't want to be lumpy and bumpy. You don't want to be filled with fluid. You don't want to be sore. Make sure you got you a good massage therapist booked on speed dial. If you need recommendations, hit up your girl, because you know I got y'all. What else can I tell you guys? I think that is about it. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions, leave the comments in the comment box. You can inbox me on Instagram. And yeah, I got some insurers. BBL pillow. Ooh,
cheetah
so
booty.
Soft. Okay. Don't know what this is. A toothbrush. Now,
That's where you pee.
I need a bigger one than this. This is big, big purr. What this? Oh, feminine spray, I guess.
I guess if you can't be bathing.
Hand sanitizer. Soap. No idea. Some Spanish. Arnica oil. What is got it going on in here, honey?
What's arnica oil for?
For discoloration on your skin and for healing.
Okay.
Soreness. Foams. Pads. Lots more pads. Extension cord for the hospital. Boards. More boards. And bed pads. And lots of wipes.
Good stuff.
That is everything, I believe. Yep. Oh, and gloves. They packed it in here, didn't they?
You did.
Okay, then.
Good job. Very good.
Very good. Tabitha, very good.
Good.
Very good. Now do some voiceovers.